All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Harakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, GMS that root well, and peace and salutations to the elect of the true nation of Israel, Yasharallah. Quick lesson, man, on the topic of this guy called Julian Brown, man. He's been pretty viral for the past year and a half for making fuel out of plastic, man, out of like trash and plastic, plastic that nobody uses, like bags, water bottles, used up petroleum. And he's see, plastic to fuel, proper safety equipment, stuff like that, man. And he's been posting. Let's go on his page, man. His last TikTok,
why I hate some.
He made this one thing.
Nano zinc oxide. Usually they're not mosquito, not stream. You know why I hate some? I have ingredients in sunscreen, and a lot of these ingredients are petroleum-derived chemicals. Your skin and your epidermis is the largest organ. Anything you put on your skin will be absorbed into your bloodstream. That's why I made Solaroma, the sunscreen that we have made here at Jabaroma. Look at the ingredient list here. Look how short that ingredient list is. Ingredients you can actually pronounce. This is made of non-nano zinc oxide, 25% of the formula, and that gives this an SPF of 30. So you know what else I hate about sunscreen? Well, you have to usually choose between sunscreen or bug repellent. Usually they're not compatible. This is not only a sunscreen, but a mosquito repellent at the same time. So I went to the worst spot in my backyard with nothing on, and look at those mosquitoes, just how many there are circling me. And here I purposely put on way too much Solaroma, just so you really know I have it on. And even though I was in the same spot, literally just 2 minutes later, all the mosquitoes disappeared and would not come around me no matter what. And I was literally kicking this dense foliage around, trying to get these mosquitoes to pop up. And I finally did at one point. When I got the mosquitoes to pop up, look how many showed up. But notice how they...
He's also made sunscreen, man, which is at the same time mosquito repellent, but this is what the brother's been making.
So the reactor is near completion. Plastic will be loaded in. And inside of this chamber, there are going to be a total of 8 operating magnetrons. Each of these are the equivalent of 1 microwave oven of power going into this chamber. So 8 microwave ovens worth of...
But he's made fuel alternatives, man, sourced from, recycled plastic, man. Trash, But the topic of this lesson is this bro has been missing for the past few weeks. He stopped posting, man. All right.
We were flying away.
This video right here, his last video, was from July 7th, And people on TikTok,
One of my favorite TikTokers has gone missing. You got
some breaking news and some unfortunate news. I don't know if you guys know about Julian Brown and Moses West. He takes plastic waste and turns it into gasoline and diesel. He made a machine that did that. And he makes a machine that creates water just out of the moisture.
Guys, you brothers remember Moses? All right, this brother Moses, man, I think it was like 4 years ago, 3 years ago. He made water. He made fuel out of just water, man, or something like that. Or no, it's like, I'm gonna let him talk. I forgot what he was doing.
Waste and turns it into gasoline and diesel. He made a machine that did that. And he makes a machine that creates water just out of the moisture of the air. And both of them seem to be missing. There's no posts or anything. They usually post online regularly. Moses West hasn't posted. But the most concerning is Julian Brown, because his last post on Instagram was, hey, there's helicopters flying around and, flying me and following me with lights. And he even tracked to see if there was helicopters supposed to be, online, because this gets posted, and he didn't see anything. And he hasn't posted in 2 weeks. And like you guys don't know, he is Julian Brown. He's like 1.3 million followers on TikTok. A lot of people know about him. And it's so distraughting news, 'cause it's like, we clearly don't protect our people. Because there's only a small group of people that would want to harm.
And I'm so grateful that
Listen to this video.
was not injured in any way during this, because this was one of the most close this gap.
Derived from plastic waste. At the time, he was having
The news around town is, this brother's been missing for the past few weeks, man. And us brothers in this truth know exactly why, man. Everybody's all distraught, like this one bro said. It's distraughting news. These people were, just like, people are catching up to the ways of this devil, man. All right, Esau, the so-called white man. All right, who runs the world, man. All right, controls the world and set up the whole world, the system of the world through petroleum. All right, fossil fuels and whatnot, man. All right, everything, medicine, foods. All right, plastics. Water bottles, utensils, brushing your teeth, clothes, everything. Just like you. Derived, coming from, fossil fuels, man. Synthetic petroleum. Which harms our body, and it's not meant to be consumed or around us so much. I'm looking at my shoes right now, and there's petroleum on them right now. The foam, the rubber, the mesh, plastic mesh, the laces, even our socks got polyester. That's a type of petroleum. Our toothbrushes, we brush our teeth every day, and the little pieces, microplastic pieces that fall off, end up in our bloodstream and whatnot, and give us heart problems, clog our arteries and whatnot, and this devil likes it like that, man. All right, because it makes everybody sick, gives us ailments, and it keeps us returning to the hospital. All right, and he feeds us. This devil feeds us or medicates us with even more petroleum. All right, based medicine, which just treats our problems. It doesn't cure our problems. All right, it just treats our problems, and it makes things worse, and we have more symptoms, and we got to come back to the hospital again, and bang, the whole world is sick, because of this devil. But this bro right here, and men like him, find alternatives. All right, make it, using plastic, all right, waste, and turning it into fuel. That one dude Moses, I forgot what his name was, in that picture. All right, he used the moisture in the air, all right, to make water, drinking water, for people, instead of paying thousands of dollars, or paying bills, the water bill for Esau, to Esau, the devil, paying him a couple $100 a month for the water bill, and he gives you tainted water with fluoride in it and heavy metals and forever chemicals in it, and we drink that, or we bathe ourselves in it, and it seeps into our skin, or we drink it and it collects in our organs and our pineal glands, and it affects our body, makes us sick, and like I said, it returns us back to the hospital, and it's just a repeating cycle and system of death and sickness, because this world is ran by death and sickness. All right, that's what this devil. He's the devil, man. What don't be surprised, man. What makes you think the devil isn't gonna turn the world into where it benefits off of sickness and death? All right, the world is not supposed to be like this. There's not supposed to be petroleum, plastic, rubber all over the place, man. Back in the ancient days, they didn't use that much rubber, plastics, and that shit didn't exist. Plastic and whatnot has only been existing for 100 years, really, like 100 years. All right, 1920, 25, 30, 1930 and whatnot. Okay, the first plastics, all right, was used on guns, in World War II and whatnot, and then like cars and TVs and whatnot. I forgot what it was called. It was called Bakelite. Yeah, Bakelite, and it was they used it on, like, the Germans used it for some of their guns. It was real durable and hard. And it was cheap to be made. It was cheap, and they put it on guns, and the guns were easier, were less expensive, because World War II was profiting off of war, and war needs guns, killing instruments, and the cheaper you can make the guns and sell them, you can make profit off of them, and and whatnot, and your country could keep fighting and whatnot, and that's what was going on, man. That's how plastic came to be, and it was really the Lord, was gonna have plastic come about anyway, through this devil, but yeah, man, and now we can't escape plastic, man. Microplastics everywhere on our clothes, toothbrushes, combs, all right, around our food, wrapped around our meats and foods and fruits, but yeah, man, this world is ran through wickedness, and if you try to go back to the old ways, or try to do something alternative, like these brothers, this devil's gonna find you out, and he's gonna whack you. He's gonna take you out, man, unalive you. All right, because why? Because you're going against this devil's system, his wicked, tainted, polluted system, man. All right, the system of the devil. Okay, so I'm not surprised. Brothers aren't surprised, and some part of this world, they're not surprised. Like, hey, man, we seen this coming. This devil's been doing this forever, man. Of course, he's gonna unalive this brother, man. Because people were saying this about this bro. They're like, hey, man, this brother needs to, start going low key, or the FBI or men are gonna be knocking at his door. And it was a joke, at the same time, serious at the same time, because people would make TikToks about this bro, before he went missing, saying that, man. All right, hey, man, you gotta start being more low key, he's gonna get knocks at the door, or watch him go missing, and bang, man. Look at him, he's missing. And the other dude, Moses, he went missing, who was making water out of the moisture of the air, And there's been many accounts, like Nikola Tesla, all right, and what he was doing. Do your research on him and what he was doing, all right, when he was on Earth, I want to get Revelations 13 and 15. It says, and he, all right, the devil, Esau, the so-called white man who runs the world, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak, and cause that as many would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And this precept fits perfectly to what this topic is, man, about this bro. All right, Julian, what was his name? Julian Brown. All right. He didn't want to. He didn't work. He's not worshiping the beast, the image of the beast. Okay, which the image of the beast is the ways of this world. All right, wickedness. All right, if you don't, abide under the laws and the ways of Esau, all right, you're gonna be destroyed, put in prison, unalived. All right. Okay, you're going contrary to the petroleum way. You're doing it different than what the devil has set up already. All right. So he's gonna unalive you. He's gonna take you out. You're gonna end up missing. You're gonna get knocks on your door. Black Hawk. You're gonna get helicopters stalking you. All right, and that's what happened to this brother. So yeah, the image of the beast is the lifestyle of the world. All right, Esau. All right, which runs the world. Okay, he's the Lord. Let's get it. Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Okay, so the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai has given this world into the hands of Esau, the devil. All right, and look what he's done to this world. All right, he's destroyed it, polluted it. All right, the world is ran through petroleum, all right? Esau, the wicked ways, all right? And if you go up against that, you're going to be taken out, all right? Because this devil has been given power and time to exercise his power in these times right now. And if you go against that, you're technically going against the Lord, all right? Because the Lord is allowing this devil, all right, to rule in wickedness. So the Lord could come back and take him down. Just like the scriptures say about Pharaoh, he's risen up Pharaoh, all right, just so the Lord could show his might in taking him down, all right? He made him almighty and powerful, okay, and great, just for the Lord to take him down to show how great he is, how great the Lord is, in taking down the most mightiest Pharaoh, king of the earth at the time. And he's going to do it again, all right? He's doing it again to the modern day Pharaoh, Esau, the so-called white man who runs the world, the elites, okay, which have made the world, you know, into a trash dump. There's literally an island of trash floating around in the ocean, the size of Rhode Island, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. You know, you can look it up. All right. So yeah, man. This is Deuteronomy 28:48, and I'm gonna end it off. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which we're doing right now, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. Okay? It's like it. This is not what I wanted. There's another precept. Is it for the one of all things? Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, man. I'll read that last part again. And in nakedness and in the want of all things. All right. I'll stop it right there. So yeah, man, we're gonna go to our enemies. All right, who's our enemy? Who's our main arch enemy? You know, Esau. All right, and we're in these times. Okay, since he's ruling the world right now, we have to go to him for the one of all things. All right, for fuel, for medicine, to pay bills, for food. All right, for cars. All right, for transportation, for everything, man. We have to go to him for school. Okay. And if you go against that system that the Lord has allowed this devil to set up, he's going to take you out, man. So, yeah, man, us brothers in this truth, you know, we're not surprised to hear some news like this. And really, the world now, you know, the everyday Jake is waking up to the fact that, hey, it's like, you know, this system is like this. All right. If you go against petroleum, all right, big brother, Esau, the devil, white man, you know, you're going to be taken out, man. And people are distraught, you know, about the news, but we're not, man. You know, we're waiting on the Lord. It's lucky. We're waiting on Yahweh Shem Yahushai, all right? Because he's the one who's going to end wickedness and destroy it off the face of the earth. All right, Shalom.